talking
do you think
fast.
that was kind of sarcasm or seriously? I gotta wonder.
I think it's serious.
On Hammerhand stream, they'll put like
Yeah.
a $1 donation and make a wise ass remark or something like that. If they don't like Hammerhand, they're trying to get a Hammerhand, they'll do like a $2 donation, make some stupid retarded comment. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe whoever sent that, was just trying to be a wise ass. I don't know. The whole McQueen thing.
Yeah, McQueen. Prince Rack, not gonna lie, dude is cringe. We men don't claim him. So he's he's a black dude. Why do black people think they're fucking royalty? Where did that shit come from exactly?
I have no idea.
Did she just say, why do black people think they're royalty? Did she really just say that? What does she think the Egyptians were? What does she think the bloodline from King Tut and Nefertiti and all these other gods of Egyptian royalty, that all of the UK and all of the so-called royalty from Europe tried to mimic, which is what they did. So much so that they have a lot of the artifacts in the museum in the UK from the royalty of Egypt. So my question is, why do they think they're royal? That they have royal bloodlines? Does she know about the original Akkadians? Not the whitewashed Akkadians, but the true Akkadians. The Akkadians spoken of the Bible. That this guy says he's a Catholic. And a lot of people here claim they're religious and they believe in the Bible. But in Genesis, the Akkadians, the true Akkadians, were the blackest of the black-skinned people, the originators of a language, written language. They started the written language before there were any Europeans in Europe. She wants to know, where do they get this from? This lady is Fruit Loops. I'm sorry. Like, she has no idea or any sensibility about legit history. She knows nothing. She only knows about the whitewashed, fake patriarchy that Europeans created for her. Listen, I'm not against a patriarchy, and I'm a feminist. I'm against a toxic patriarchy. Because original patriarchies, they had equality in their system structure. They weren't anti-women. They knew the value that women brought into society. However, she doesn't.
Hey, Mark Ryan, how are you?
Hey.
Thanks for the quote. It's perfect for this. Yeah, perfect for this one. This crazy bitch, Mark Ryan, is trying to convince, very terribly, Kush to get married.
It did a really good job. Sold me on it.
You know what? I think for me to take her seriously, she better get Alice married. I think if she can get that 3-time pregnant out of wedlock little fucking bastard factory married, that would show some value to our society.
She calls this woman a 3-time bastard maker and wants this woman to get that woman married. As far as I know, that woman Alice is in a committed relationship. She's building homes and everything with this man. This lady is a single mother. This lady, and I'm using the word lady very loosely, has a son that she's raising by herself. What's the difference between being married, having a child, and then getting divorced when the child is only 1 year old, and a woman who has 3 children, who has a significant other male partner in her life, raising 3 children? Which one is better? The one with the piece of paper and no man in the house, or the woman without the piece of paper from the court system in the state, who has a man in the house who is raising children with her? Which scenario is best? I ask. And I'm saying only if the man is good to the children, has some common sense, knows how to be also nurturing and supply the needs of the child, is not selfish and does what he's supposed to do. We're talking about all the qualities a man who's in a home should have, who is not abusive, who is not harming the children, who is instructing children and creating environments for children to thrive in. That's the situation I'm speaking of. Which is better? Because she's anti-single woman, but she happens to be a single mother. Let's continue.
If she can, here, I'm going to put this up here. I'm starting to add stuff. If she can get this thought married.
Jesus. Ears and eyes? God damn.
If she can get this thrice pregnant out of wedlock bastard factory married, she would be doing the world
I had to
a
take my
justice.
headphones off already because I couldn't stand this.
What my question is for men like him and others in her chat room, what kind of message is she, what are they telling her about her inability to have a male figure that can actually teach her son properly? Because we already know the stories about her son going to school and harassing the teacher, and then the teacher, being fired because she requested, the principals and the faculty of the school to get him fired, and he got fired and committed suicide. And she was on a live stream. I have the clip somewhere, somebody sent it to me, where she's giggling and laughing that he committed suicide. What part of that is funny? None of that's funny. So where are the men like critiquing her on being a mother and raising a son? They always claim that these single mothers, these goddamn motherfucking single mothers, they don't do a good job raising kids. And then they sit in the breaking bread with one, and she's okay. And did they pay attention to the stories that were told concerning her son? Would they be okay with that? Would these men be okay with that? When I don't even want to get into that. I could go on a whole rant about that. It's just crazy.
I'm telling you, I've listened to that clown for almost an hour now. I don't know how her husband. How can this woman stand her? Oh, tell me about it, hamster. Tell me about it. Can you imagine coming home from a day of work and listening to this?
Well, I'm sure he doesn't have to if he just doesn't ask any serious questions. Maybe that's how he's like, happy wife, happy life.
Oh, I'd work 80 hours a week. Well, I think that's why some of my colleagues work longer hours. I don't think they do it to prove that they're better office workers. I think they do it as a respite from being at home. I swear to God, I think that's part of the reason why they stay. Because these guys at work, my colleagues, I know.
This is my thing. If you're not happy in a marriage and you're not getting fulfilled in the way that you would like, like there has to be perimeters set up where you know, like, this person is offering this in the relationship. This is a, it's a compromise. Like, it definitely is a compromise. And sometimes people don't uphold the whole, you know, their whole side of the of this marriage or whatever. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Why would you be a man or a woman in a relationship where it's fruitless, where there's no love, there's no communication, there's nothing you get out of it at all? Nothing. There is no point in being in a relationship with that. And it's okay. It's okay to get out of a relationship like that. Everybody's not going to find their Prince Charming and their queen. Let me just say that. It's just not going to happen. Sometimes people are just alone. But it's what you know how to do with being alone. How much do you despise yourself in a situation where you cannot be alone? There's a lot of people I know that jump from relationships to relationships to relationships, and people in my family. My niece is one of them. Her dad is one of them. They cannot be alone. They don't like themselves enough to be alone. And they have to drown out that voice inside them and inside their head that says how horrible they feel about themselves, right? That they have to get it drowned out by somebody. So that it doesn't matter who that somebody is, no matter how wrong they are for them, they will jump into a relationship. But why? Why aren't people teaching, instead of teaching people marriage counseling like this woman who's been married for a year, instead of teaching people marriage counseling, why aren't people teaching other people how to love themselves, like themselves, be okay with themselves, and trust themselves on an emotional level to where they don't have to get into corrupted, broke down, harmful relationships that they don't fit in? Why aren't people putting out podcasts like that? And I'm not talking about manosphere saying, yeah, I'm going to another country. Another broken dude who can't be by himself in his own head, that he has to go and interrupt another woman's life from another country because he's so unsatisfied with himself. And women are like that too. So unsatisfied with themselves, they have to have somebody interrupt the frequency in their head because they don't feel they're enough unto themselves. Like they legit don't. Let's continue.
As a queen, and she would be worth more when sold. Okay. What about a king?
Right?
Oh, well, okay.
Well, kings don't do manual labor, so I don't see how.
Listening to her was like listening to an old school chalkboard, like the kinds we had in school, scratching. It was like that. And
this is my thing. If he felt like listening to her was like a chalkboard, and let me tell you, a lot of shit people say is so dumb and just it's so stupid, but it's like a train wreck. You can't turn your head. So if she was like a chalkboard, because there are people that I have listened to, and because their energy is so disruptive, I cut them off. Like, I turn them off. But why didn't he do that? If she's just like a chalkboard, right? Oh God, he can't stand her voice. He can't stand what she got to say. Why did he stay for an hour? And likewise, if you're in a relationship, in a marriage, and you can't stand that person, why would you stay in a marriage like that? If you absolutely can't stand them, everybody has conflict, right? Everybody has problems in relationship. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. However, if somebody is that horrible, that you can't stand to be in their presence, not even for 5 minutes, why would you stay married? And I'm talking about men or women. It doesn't matter what gender. Why would you stay? And it doesn't matter whether you're in a gay or lesbian relationship. Why would you stay in a relationship that you can't stand that person for not even 5 minutes? That makes no sense at all. Anyways,